All right, y'all. So in this first video, we're starting to transition into a bit more of the physical stuff we're going to talk about, so far as how do you begin your fitness journey, right? What are the first steps someone takes if you've never really worked out before, or it's been a super long time since you did anything consistently? Maybe the last time you were really consistent was back in high school or college when you were playing a sport and you were kind of forced into consistency by your coach and or parents. Or at the time you had more time, you were single or whatever the case may be. Anyway, so today's video, we're going to talk about how to begin, right? What are the things that we need to keep in mind, kind of a high level, and then, deciding between whether to do a home workout or a gym workout, which one is more optimal for you, and how to decide between the two. So really, when beginning your fitness journey, right? If it's been a long time or if you've never done it before, here's the most basic thing we need to do. We need to do intentional movement for 20 to 30 minutes at least 3 days a week, right? So 20 to 30 minutes at least 3 days a week. And so if this is something really new to you, if you've never touched a weight before, if you've never done body weight stuff, if you are really worried about form and injuring yourself and all these things, this could be a walk, right? Going on a 20 to 30 minute walk 3 days a week, right? At least. This is not a casual walk. It needs to be intentional movement, right? This isn't like, I walk around for work or I'm walking around to do X, Y, or Z. It's like, no, I'm going out to do an intentional walk. And what is the pace you need to do? Well, you can either do some heart rate zone stuff if you have like an Apple Watch or something like that, or you can do what's called the breath test, right? So finding a pace where you're still walking, but it's a brisk walk to where you could have a conversation with somebody on the phone or next to you, but you don't really want to have the conversation, right? You could respond, but if they kept talking to you, it'd be kind of annoying after a while because you're trying to focus on your breathing, right? So once again, this isn't a sprint. This isn't even a run or a jog. This is a brisk walk 3 days a week. If this is, once again, if you're starting out your fitness journey, this is kind of the bare minimum, right? We need to move 20 to 30 minutes 3 days a week. Lots of studies coming out and have been published about just even doing these small things can dramatically improve cardiovascular health, bone density, cognitive ability, your ability to retain things even at work. And so this is the bare minimum. So at the very least, we're setting aside 20 to 30 minutes, 3 days a week to go on a brisk walk. You don't have to walk. You can do this on an elliptical or a bike or swim or a rowing machine, or you can go for a 20, 30 minute jog if you are able to do that. But some kind of movement, 20 to 30 minutes, right? Now, if you need to decide between cardio and resistance training, I would pick resistance training over cardio only because there's arguably more benefits to building more lean body mass in the long term. Honestly, both is great. Both is preferred, right? Doing a little bit of cardio and resistance training, they're both great. And so when it comes to then introducing resistance training into the equation, we have two options primarily. We have home workouts and we have the gym. In the gym, this falls into the categories of like group fitness classes and stuff like that as well. But we really have two options, right? So what are the pros and cons of these two, and which ones do I typically recommend? Well, a lot of people in their fitness journey, they do tend to feel self-conscious about like people watching them or not knowing what to do. I don't want to look dumb in the gym, et cetera, et cetera. And so home workouts can be a great place to start, especially if you've never really done a lot of stuff. The pros of home workout is you're at home, right? You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to commute anywhere. So theoretically, your window of working out takes less time, because for the gym, you have to drive there. You have to get your workout in and then drive back. With a home workout, the benefit is obviously the ability to just go into your garage or set aside a space in your bedroom or living room or guest room or whatever the case may be. And so you can do body weight stuff, things like body weight squats, push-ups, sit-ups, bird dogs. There's a lot of things you can do, planks. With just body weight, obviously, if we're doing some resistance training too, we can introduce dumbbells into the equation, or mini bands or bands or TRX straps. Tons of different options and modalities. They do require investment, right? You have to spend some money on getting the equipment, but it's a great place to start. Now, some of the drawbacks of home workouts is the fact that you do need to kind of continually invest in equipment. especially as you progress, as you get stronger, you'll need heavier dumbbells. I've worked with people like, oh, I have 5 pound dumbbells and that's all I have. It's like, well, okay, that might be okay for some light arm stuff, but ultimately it's not enough weight for legs, for chest, for back. You are stronger than you think, right? So it's hard to progressively add resistance unless you buy heavier dumbbells. Then you have these big old heavy dumbbells in your house. Some people love it, some people hate it, right? And so you're limited at a home workout so far as what type of modalities or equipment you have access to. But at the same time, it's harder to progress because of that reason. But once again, there are advantages of you're doing it by yourself at home. You're not worried about other people. You don't have to commute, right? So there is that. And it can be good. Once again, something is better than nothing, right? That's kind of another moral of the story here. Something's always better than nothing. And so we have the gym, right? Cons of the gym is you have to drive there, right? You do have to get to the gym. And so that can be a con for some people if it's really far out of the way, or if it's not convenient, if it's not on the way to work, or whatever the case may be. Another con is you're paying a monthly due, right? So you're paying some kind of monthly fee, $10, $30, $50, whatever the case may be. If you are newer to the gym, this can be intimidating to some people, working out around other people and all these things. But I think the pros far outweigh the cons. Speaking to the whole, if you're intimidated by other people because you're worried about them looking at you, as somebody who's been going to the gym for years, I promise you, no one is looking at you. No, everybody's just doing their own thing. And if they are, that's on them, not on you. But the pros, obviously, of the gym is the fact that you have access to tons of different modalities, lots of different weight options, the ability to effectively and efficiently train your muscles, right? So you're not just constantly doing reps and reps. That's the thing with home workouts. They tend to be a bit more huffy puffy workouts because you're having to do more repetitions to get the same stimuli to your muscles, right? Whereas with the gym workout, you can lift a little bit heavier, have more efficient pieces of equipment to use. So that way you can get in closer proximity to failure. That's where muscle growth happens, without necessarily being all huffy and puffy all the time, right? So I have people leave the gym all the time and being like, I barely even sweat. I'm like, cool. You don't really need to all the time with an effective and efficient gym workout, right? And so there are pros and cons. So deciding between the two, it's going to be up to your life situation, right? If you're just starting out, if you're brand new, here's what I would recommend to do. So for the first month, once again, just start moving. 30 minutes, 20, 30 minutes, 3 days a week. Try to set up, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or whatever the case may be. And just move, walk, hike, bike, swim, jog, whatever the case may be. Get your body used to this consistent habitual movement, right? And then once you get that down, right? This is what I do with my clients too. This isn't like a secret sauce or something like that. This is literally what I do with my clients. So once you get used to that, then introduce some kind of resistance training into the equation, right? Whether that's home workouts or gym workouts, whatever the case may be. Start introducing, at least a couple of days of resistance training a week. We'll talk in the next video on how to set up a gym workout and then how to set up a home workout, what that looks like. And I'm going to literally lay out step by step. This is what I do. This is how you could do it too. This is not a secret. This is not something I want to keep to myself. The whole point of you watching this is to help you and you're along your way. So first step, move 3 days a week, right? If you can move more, cool, move more. You don't need to do something every single day. You do need rest days in there. And so move 3 days a week. If you do want to start with just jumping into resistance training, whether it's gym or home workout, cool. Like I said, we'll talk about that in future videos, how to set that up. But we're thinking at least whatever you're doing something for 20 to 30 minutes, 3 days a week. That's the bottom line here. Something is better than nothing. We need to move. We need to engage our bodies. If we don't use it, we lose it. It's like, learning a foreign language. If you don't use it, you lose it. It's the same with your muscles, same with your body. If you don't use it, you lose it. You atrophy, right? Especially as you age. I think it's after 40, you start losing like 1% of lean muscle mass and strength every year, like basically, right? So we don't want to be 70 years old and not being able to play with our grandkids, right? I want you to be a 70, 80-year-old that can still get up and down off the ground, still throw a football around, still go on hikes, still go swimming, be healthy as possible. So something's better than nothing. Move at least 3 days a week for 20 to 30 minutes. And once again, decide whether you're going to work out at home or in the gym, which one's going to fit your life situation better. And knowing that you can always go from one to the other or do both, right? Just depending on your schedule, right? That's kind of the last thing I'll say is, if you're crazy busy schedule and you really can only get to the gym 1 day a week, cool. There's a way to set up a full body day at the gym where you can lift heavy, build muscle. And then the other days you can do some other stuff at home, circuit training, some lighter stuff, cardio, whatever the case may be. So make sure we're doing something every single day. Something's better than nothing. Get after it, y'all. God bless.